And our last question for you, like I said, we definitely want to respect your time. Let's talk about hip hop real quick. We lost another rapper, a real influential rapper in Memphis, young Dolph. Dr. Boyce Watkins, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he put up a stat yesterday that we've lost 200 rappers this year, whether they've been famous, well-known, local, whatever the case may be. It seems like an epidemic in hip hop right now where people are dying, and unfortunately, it's the hands of us. Talk about what you think about hip hop and how, if anything, and I know it's cliche, how we can remedy the situation, because it's one of the most powerful motors in the world, yet we're losing some of our most prominent people in it.
Yeah, I think it's that's crazy, because I really like Young Dolph too, so that was wild when I heard about that. I feel like it's just ignorance, you know what I'm saying? Where the fuel that runs hip hop is ego, is toxic masculinity, it's ignorance. You feel me? And I think because it stems from that, we need to grow past that, and we need to mature out of that. Otherwise, it's always going to be that type of beef. Someone's always going to want your head on the platter. You know what I'm saying? It's like it stems from, it's just that shit talking and that beefing left and right. That shit ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? People think it's fun and games to do all that until, you know what I'm saying, someone is really, after you. And whether you get caught or you don't, that paranoia is going to kill you just as much as a bullet is going to kill you. So I think it stems from, it's that slavery, that slave mentality. You know what I'm saying? We just now coming out. When you think about it, I mean, Jim Crow laws was in the 1960s. That's like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been in bondage way longer than we've been freed, and now we're being free, and we're given, this money, this power, this fame. We don't know how to treat it. When you deprive someone of something for so long, and then you give them access to it, they start talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? They start wilding out, and I just think it's just stemming from our ignorance of we don't know better yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you got people coming straight from the hood, like just streets. And they make money. Like wealth amplify what a man already is. When you come straight from the street, you're not really taught the real things in life properly. You're not taught how to deal with your emotions. You're not taught how to handle grief the right way. You know what I'm saying? So you get money with that. Oh, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You start talking extra crazy. You got bigger balls. You got, and you know what I'm saying? The end result is that. And that's why that is so high in our culture, because, you know what I'm saying? Where we stem from, we coming from the bottom, it's hard to really just know how to deal with your problems correctly, and I think that's really where it stems from, and it's unfortunate that it's going to keep happening, because at the end of the day, it just stems from ignorance. Like we just don't know better, and that's the way we deal with our problems. It's like, we don't like someone, boom, and it's mad unfortunate. That Young Dolph situation, it really that shit fucked my head up. I was like, damn, I really like Young Dolph. Like, I was like, that's crazy. Him, Pop Smoke. And, I could just go on and on, but it's wild. It's sad. It's real sad.
Fact.
Definitely. If you can, man, go ahead and drop your social media handles where anybody can find you.
You guys can follow me at Vinchi. It's just my name on everything. DaVinchi.
Indeed, man. We got Vinchi on the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. You can find him on the BMF series on Stars, playing Southwest T. Broadway series, brother. What's that title one more time?
It's called Thoughts of a Colored Man.
Great work, man. You're doing a lot of phenomenal things. How you feeling out here? All the fanfare going on and everything, the buzz around you.
I don't even know how to feel, if I'm being honest. It's just like it's so much happening so fast, and well, not really fast, but it's just a lot of turbulence right now. So I'm just dealing with work, life, and personal life, and all that stuff. So it's like I feel it, but I'm so busy doing other stuff that I'm not even really like feeling it the way it probably look on the outside.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I don't even. I'm in it. I do. You know what I'm saying. I'm getting stopped and asked for pictures a lot more than before. So I'm just like, all right, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like this is, it's hitting the streets heavy.
Yeah, man.
Right now, is your legal name Vinchi?
It's my middle name. So I adopted that as my middle name, yeah.
Dope. So it says that you grew up, born in Brooklyn, moved to Jersey and Florida. Is that true?
Yeah.
So how was it growing up? What part of Jersey did you grow up in?
Orange, like Orange, East Orange,
Dope.
like North,
Indeed,
like
man.
right by North.
Where so we from South Jersey, closer to the Philadelphia area, but down like in there, Atlantic City, Carver Township area. But talk about getting into acting and getting into Hollywood. We know you enjoyed sports and athletics as a youth and probably still do. But what got you and bit you into the acting field? What got you into that?
Honestly, I was just hustling, like I was living in Florida for like 7 years because my father decided to take me and my other brother. We were the two youngest, and I was the baby because we was like, fucking up a lot up north. So he took us down to Florida, and when we went there, it was just like it was a life-changing thing. I was around, more white people than I ever been around in my life. I was deathly afraid to get in trouble because I was scared of my father. So I was like acting like a good kid for the most part, but while I was out there, it was just like I just started reading and just looking at the other side of life, like what life can be besides like hood shit. And I remember it was when I was in college. My other brother came down and he was doing college with us. He came out to just come to college with us and shit. And we was just one day we was just talking about the entertainment business, and we was just like, yo, bro, like. He was like, yo, bro, like, what if you really like decided to pursue this shit? You do music and acting and da 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 da. Like, you never know. And I was just like, man, that's just impossible. Long story short, this is a long story short. Um, I just saved X amount of dollars, and I was like, I'm about to move back up north with my mom's. I'm start hustling and doing it, and I was performing at Jay-Z's mother, Gloria Carter. She had this open mic thing in Newark, New Jersey, Diamonds in the Rough, and every Thursdays. You come perform, and like there used to be like some managers there that would be there just watching and shit. And I was performing there, got discovered from there, and then I was put into acting classes, and I was doing both music and acting, and then I made the right connections with acting, and then shit just took off.
Oh. Right now, did you do Broadway at one point as well?
I'm doing Broadway now, but I never did Broadway before.
Okay, now talk about getting the role. Or learning of the BMF. When did you first learn about that, and how was like the audition and things that going for that to get in the role of Southwest T?
So I had an audition. Like I was doing so many things at the time, and this project came in, and I was just like, oh snap! Like this character fit me, and I was like, damn, I like this character a lot. And they had me go out for Terry and B Minky, so. So it's funny. And then when they wanted me to test, it was like, we don't want you to test for B Mickey, we want you to test for Terry. So I tested for Terry. Then on 11/11, I remember my agent called me. It was like, yo, it's 11/11, make a wish. I was like, I wish I got BMF. And he was like, yo, you got it. And I was like, what? I was like, that's crazy. And the rest is history.
Now talk about. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Do you think?
No. I was just saying that's how that happened.
Okay. Talk about becoming Southwest T, Terry Flenory. We know he just recently got out of federal prison. Big Meech still sitting behind bars, and you guys are articulating the story of the uprising of the BMF coming from Detroit. You being in Brooklyn and in Jersey, obviously, may not be the same areas, but the culture and the language and obviously the moves are the same. Talk about that and becoming Southwest T. How difficult was that? Talk about the people you spoke to become who he was and how that was.
Yeah, so I grew up in poverty. I ain't have a silver spoon, so a lot of the stuff that they face at a young age, I faced like similar situations, but obviously there are more exaggerated cases. These guys, end up making some type of money that you don't. It's hard to get to that point, but yeah, I grew up around that, so I just really had to just tap back into my childhood and how I grew up, so. It was like with me and T actually have a lot of similarities, like in real life. Like I remember growing up, like my parents looked at me as like the good kid, like I was like the good one, but I really wasn't. I was just as bad as my brothers, but I just played the school side and being out like in the street side like so well that they had no clue. So I remember being fifth grade. In fifth grade, I had tweed, dime bags, and nickel bags. and selling it. But at that time, I didn't realize like how crazy that was because that's the norm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when people hear that, that's not from that. They be like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." I'm like, it's really not. Like that shit's like so normal. But preparing for this role, I just went back in that space and I did as much research as I could on the Flenory brothers. Looked up all the police reports, all the interviews, everything I could find, and I was talking to Lil Meech a lot, and he was telling me a few things, and the showrunner knew a lot, and 50, knew a lot, and Tasha. So I just collected everything that I got from everyone. I was just like, all right, boom, let me just put this together and create this character of who I think Terry is. And, it worked because, at the beginning of the season, Terry reached out to me and he shouted me out and, paid me homage for portraying his character, which is a big thing because it's very hard that you, one, get to meet the man that you playing, and then it's like for them to just really just appreciate how you telling their story means a lot because I don't know him from a pile of rocks. Like we don't like we don't know each other, so it's like for him to appreciate the way I'm portraying his character. It spoke volumes to me, and I felt like that was my Emmy.
Talk about 50 Cent because he did series like Power, Raising Kanan. How was the experience actually working with 50 Cent?
Working with 50 was cool. Like 50 is a cool cat. He's mad humble. He's funny, and he's smart. This guy's a genius. He's a marketing genius. He knows that dude knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he's greatly misunderstood by the masses. But this dude, he knows what he's doing. He said, the show is gonna be bigger than Power. And when he said that, I'm like, I don't know. Like that's a lot of pressure on us, but you know what I'm saying? He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. So we just follow his lead and just do our work.
Going into the role of Southwest T and playing that character, like you just said, his parents and the parents of Meech and Terry, they looked at Terry as the good kid. They blamed Meech for a lot of the going on and what was going on around them and the chaos that was surrounding them. In your opinion, as the character of Southwest T, do you think that Meech got a little bit of a bad rap at that time, kind of being the leader? How do you think that Meech was perceived as a child in the family or in the eyes of his family? And do you think that was fair?
I mean, from the parents' point of view, perception is reality. So the way they perceived it, it was fair for them to see it like that because, you know what I'm saying? They were church goers and just believed in the system. You know what I'm saying? You go to school, you get a good job and do X, Y, Z. So for what Meech was doing, it definitely was like, yo, what the hell is he doing? But yeah. I think it's kind of tough to say whether I thought it was right or wrong the way they viewed him. I think it's right and wrong at the same time, but I think they just didn't understand the struggle, how it felt to be Meech and T at that time in that era, and I feel like Meech and T just did what they had to do to make out of that situation because it was an unfortunate situation and going to school and trying to focus on school while you broke as hell and got holes in your shoes and you know what I'm saying, kids are making fun of you. It's like, it's a reality that they was facing, but they didn't know, like the parents didn't know, you know what I'm saying? They ain't feel it. So they just could perceive it in a way that a parent would perceive it because the parent just want to protect the child at the end of the day.
Right. What was the most difficult part about, playing T? Was there anything that you found like, okay, this might be a little bit difficult and a challenge for me? And if it was, how'd you overcome that?
I think because he's a real character that was difficult. Like he's a real person. So it's like It's like there's one thing, playing a made up character, but when you're playing a real character who's like the lead of a show, like it's tough because the criticism that you're gonna get is like it's a lot. So I didn't know how he was gonna rock with it. I didn't know how people was gonna rock with it, and I think that contact, when I have to put the contact in and then the way you make my eye, and that shit is mad uncomfortable. Mad uncomfortable. Like, it's OD uncomfortable, but you know what I'm saying? I try to numb it out and then just, just deliver and just quiet the noise in my head and that physical pain of the contact. I just try to ignore it and just, just deliver.
Dope.
Did you actually talk to the real Big Meech? Did you talk to him at all?
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone a few times. Little Meech was calling him, like they talk like almost every day. And
Okay.
you know, a lot of times when I'm with Meech, I mean we're together probably like 12 hours a day. So he'll pass me the phone to Big Meech, and Big Meech, he was like, when I was talking to him, he was like, "Yeah, man, I know who you are, man. They be playing that football shit, that All American shit in the prison." Like, I was like, "Oh shit, that's what's up. That's what's up."
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He gave me his blessings and just like, just gave me a bit of his upbringing, his background, and just gave us some pointers on how to just be real and authentic and just do our thing. So.
Dope. Now you really into this acting thing now. You've had to grow in this role. I think you play Cash in that. You Darnell Hayes on All American, Southwest T and BMF. Now you're sitting in Broadway. You are really dove into acting. We talked to Columbus Short maybe about a little over a year ago. And then we had Miss Charnel Brown on a couple of weeks ago. And they talked about how getting into these roles and finding these characters, sometimes getting out of these characters are very difficult to do, and breaking the chain of the character is sometimes hard to do. Now that you're really into it, do you find it difficult to kind of get out of these roles and jump into another role, or are you really bringing authenticity, a piece of yourself into them, so it's kind of easy to transition from one to another?
So far, honestly, it's been a piece of myself,
Dope.
So a lot of people, because they don't know me and they know what I post online. They know, like they see TikToks of me being universally appealing for not just the Black audience and the white audience. So they think I'm some kid that, you know what I'm saying, that grew up very privileged. Like the amount of people that came up to me and thinking that I started acting when I was like 3 years old and I have rich parents, it's crazy, but it's only because how I carry myself,
Mhm.
So, but it was like really like I literally come from the streets, you know what I'm saying? But it it has fucked so many people up that I know. My brothers, I have cousins that have been put down for life, either dead or in jail. I got so many people that's fucked up in the head. So I had people that just really just schooled me to the game, like, yo, fuck that street shit. That shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. Like, and if you make it in there, like, you're gonna be paranoid as a motherfucker. You can't trust no one. It's hell. So I made it. I made a vow to myself, like, I ain't gonna try to promote this shit and act all XYZ, like where I come from. Just because I come from that don't mean I gotta show that. So a lot of times, like, like playing at Darnell and Cash and all these other character sports, I played sports my whole life, playing Southwest Streets T. I grew up around that. I just don't carry myself as that. So I'm really not pulling from something that's make believe. That's what
Yeah.
niggas don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not one to try to, like, flaunt that and act that, because that shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? If you get faced with a life sentence, or you know what I'm saying, you get your head fucking blown off, that shit ain't. When I was 10 years old, my cousin got hit with a Uzi 4 times the head. I'm not about to
Mm.
promote that life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, but these characters are something I really draw from, that I've experienced, that I've lived. You know what I'm saying? Of course, T is a exaggerated version of it. He's next level. Like, I didn't get shot, but bullets flew past me. I got mistaken for the wrong person before when I was younger. So it's like, I know I draw from real shit. And sometimes, honestly, playing that character a little bit was kind of annoying sometimes, because when I would get in that dark space, I'll leave set, then I'm paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Then I start thinking like that, and it's like, yeah, it's unfortunate, but I know, as an artist, this is what I signed up for. So I gotta, serve the character to the best of my ability. But it's like, I think sometimes shaking off that space of, diving into that world that you don't even want to think about no more, because that shit, you
Yeah.
don't associate it to good things. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So yeah.